I make a motion to approve the right-of-way permits as submitted by engineering.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Letter D, garage sales for annual garage Mahal event for May 20 to 21st, 2023, submitted for approval. Yeah.
Motion to approve the garage sale and the annual garage Mahal event on May 21st through 22nd.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Letter E, disposal authorizations received from the Hammond Police Department, submitted for approval.
I make a motion that we approve the disposal authorization forms from the Hammond Police Department.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Moving right along. Letter F, notice to owners of affected property regarding 1636 Summer Street, submitted for acknowledgement. Got anything, Kev?
No, sir.
We're good? Just sending out a notice, that's all we're doing, right?
Yeah, this is just acknowledgement because it's probably sent by Brian Poland. I think has to do with her. Brian, are you aware of it?
Yeah, I think that's all we're doing.
Yeah, Brian's sitting there like a cat that ate the canary, but he's gonna come up and tell me what I don't know.
I'm sure what you're referring to is just the standard notification that any petitioner for the Plan Commission or the BZA sends out because the Board of Works was listed as an adjacent property owner.
So we're just acknowledging, Brian, that it was sent out, that's all we're acknowledging?
I personally don't know that you've ever put it on the agenda before because we've been sending these letters for years.
It's always on the-
But, okay, I'm sorry, I don't know that.
Okay.
But I don't think.
No action.
Yeah.
No action necessary.
Yeah, it's,
No, it's just
because,
acknowledgement that you received it.
because if that is the one for the Plan Commission meeting, that was last night, so.
Well, thank you, Brian. Yeah. Okay, so there's, for letter F, there's no action necessary. Letter G, credit terms and conditions with Sunco Pipe and Tube received from Public Works, submitted for approval.
Yes, this was requested by Public Works Department. I had some issues with some of the credit terms. We've corrected those so that the Controller's Office is satisfied with the new credit terms that is based upon the regular kind of schedule of payment for vendors. And I believe that Controller's Office is okay with it. Tanisha may have something to say regarding that, but if not, I think we're good to go. And I would request its approval as presented.
Motion to approve the credit terms and conditions for Sunco Pipe and Tube as submitted.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Number 10, under old business, letter A, status for Jimenez Towing, or excuse me, Jimenez Auto.
All right. I wonder who's here instead of Mr. Bartholomew. It looks like somebody new is coming. So just to set the record, as you know, this has been an ongoing saga. We have, last time we were here, the Jimenez's and Mr. Bartholomew mentioned that there was a new property right across from them on 149th and Calumet that was potentially going to be a new location for them, and they had kind of abandoned the idea of going on Homan Avenue at the old car wash. It looked promising. I know that the issues really were with the tenants, that they were trying to resolve those leases, but that the space looked like it would work. And does everybody remember what that can?
Yes.
Sent to the board. This is the new location. This is at 4906 Calumet. It's kind of a I-shaped commercial structure. We did have some questions about what was going to happen with the tenant in the front on Calumet because I believe Jimenez has said that they were going to go in the back. So I'll let them, their attorney, and them address the board and see where we're at. You're welcome.
Good morning. So
morning.
I'm Lauren Ehart, just filling in for Christian today. So as for the tenant issue, there is a tenant in one unit. They're hoping to move their business into two separate units that are non-contiguous. So one is empty already, the other one, a tenant is in, but we gave them notice to vacate in January, and they're supposed to be out by the end of this month. And they communicated to us that they're working to make that happen. If for some reason that doesn't happen, we're prepared to file eviction proceedings and get them out so this can get moving. We did just receive a site plan last night, so I have not seen this yet, but we did receive it from Bruce Kujawa, the architect working on it, so if you want to.
Yeah, so I just want to make sure that our
Yeah.
city planner, Brian, you want to come up real quick? Is aware of this, and I'm sure you'll get him a copy of it,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Okay, great. And I think really the questions I have are, is the old car wash property, do you still own that and you're
Yes.
selling it, or?
No, we still own it. We're still planning to convert it. It's gonna take time in order to transition and switch it over. So in the meantime, we were trying to see if we could get a license to move into the property that's in front of us. Meanwhile, we have.
When you say
time
the
to
property
fix it.
that's in front of you, you mean this one?
Yes.
Okay,
Sorry.
got it. So, yeah, as the board's aware, the city has significant concerns about moving the auto shop over to the car wash property.
Right.
So when you said converted, I just want to make sure you understand that the city still has issues. If you're thinking about putting a car repair facility there, we may have some problems, but we can work through that with the city planner.
Right.
But we're extremely interested in your new plan of moving across the street. And do you have ownership of that?
Yes.
This time? You
Yes.
do, so you guys own that, that's
Yes.
why you're trying to get them to vacate on the other
Correct.
side? Okay. So that's good news.
Yes.
I think if we could set this for another status date within, like, let's say 30 days. I know we're trying to keep everybody on a tight timetable because we really gave the Jimenez's a lot of leeway to this point, but now we want to try to, like, keep things moving.
Gotcha.
So, and Brian, did you want to say anything about any of those issues?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
So at this point, this is the first time I'm aware of the site plan. That has been some discussion between Christian Bartholomew and myself. We were also talking about a concern that needs to be addressed with the business license people in our office, or in Donnie's office. When you have two units that are physically separated and the address issue of how a business license can be assigned to that. The other thing that Christian and I were talking about is, and perhaps it's in the site plan, but there's several business licenses on this property with using the same address and not consistently using like a building A, building B, unit number. And so that is something that we wanted to address to make sure that all the existing businesses are addressed and licensed consistently or properly in the records. As far as the Homan Avenue property, one of the things that concerns me in what was said today is that our discussion with them of allowing them to go on Homan Avenue was based on the idea that it was going to be a continuation of a similar non-conforming use. And time is elapsing, and that really has a 1-year time limit. And the more time that lapses then puts us in a position of having to go back to the Board of Zoning Appeals to allow that repair operation on the car wash site.
So, and I think just to echo what Brian said, that, that we currently have a situation that we've been allowing them, just because this has been pending, to maintain their current location where there are 2 licenses right now, the tire shop and that.
Right.
So we want to try to avoid that, I think, through establishing suite numbers or, dash A, dash B, dash C, or whatever on the new property. That'll avoid that. I know Donnie's been working on that with Brian. So we still have concerns, but I think we're moving in the right direction. We just really need to see this move forward. So is that an extra copy for Mr. Poland?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's a good one.
If you have an extra copy of that, I'm sure he'd like to take that. And then if we could set a 30-day date.
Well, so the idea is to move here temporarily?
No, I think it's to move.
Or are they going to
there
use both places?
No, for that one, actually, it's to move there temporarily.
Oh, temporary.
So that's what I'm saying, so.
What's the permanent plan?
The permanent plan was to rebuild the car wash in order for us to convert it into a.
So
auto
to me, that's going to make this a longer journey.
Longer thing, yeah. So we need to, 2 things then. One, we need to make sure that that moves forward.
Right.
But there's no guarantee from the city that the Homan Avenue is going to be a permanent location, because that has to be worked through with Mr. Pullen and his department.
Okay.
I just want to make sure that Jimenez's understand that. But we do need them out of where they're at, because the alternative is we're going to close them down there. And and we've been patient, and we need to get them across the street as soon as possible.
Right.
I would just ask Mr. Bartholomew to make sure that eviction's moving if we don't get it.
Understood.
Is March 30th okay for the status date?
March 30.
Okay.
Make a motion that we set status for March 30th, 2023 for Jimenez Auto.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
March 30.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Letter B, status for 19 Webb.
19 Webb, I know Mr. Castro's here. Is that you, or that's 3rd District? Abel, right? Okay, 19 Webb. Good news is that Mr. Farrell believes that finals will be called in within the next 2 weeks. We do have an expired rehab agreement, but I'd rather just set this for status one more time, and then we should be good to get it off the demolition list. If not, then we'll proceed to get the bond. So if we could set this maybe for a 3-week, does that sound good, Nick? 3 weeks? 3 weeks.
Is March 23rd okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I make a motion that we set the status hearing for 19 Webb for March 23rd, 2023.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Thank you. Number 11, rental registration hearing, 7203 Ontario Avenue.
Hi,
Good morning.
good morning. My name is Peggy Lee. I'm the property manager for the property.
Okay,
So what happened was the owner decided to sell the house last year, which is why we didn't register for the rental. But we didn't really have good luck selling it, so now he's thinking about renting it again. So I went ahead and registered for this year. It's still vacant right now. It doesn't have anybody in it, but then they noticed there's a gap in the registration for last year, which is when he wanted to sell the home.
okay.
So that's why we have a gap in the
Gotcha.
registration.
Yes, we have the current owner since October 22nd of 19. They registered for 20 and 21, so we're here for a single-family home who missed 2022. I would just like to remind Ms. Peggy, the property manager, that the vacant property ordinance is in effect. So if the property is vacant for 90 days or more, it's required to be registered as vacant, which is a $300 fee annually by October 1st of each year.
Gotcha, sorry,
So,
I didn't know that.
unless they can get a tenant like in there shortly, it'll most likely need to be registered as vacant until that time
Okay,
occurs.
gotcha.
So, but yeah, we're here for 1 year for 2022, single family home.
No issues with the property
No,
in the past?
it was registered on time and I didn't see any notes in the system that indicate any problems at the property.
So do we need to mention anything about the vacant part, the vacant?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, how long do you guys think until you can get a tenant in there?
I mean, now that they stopped trying to sell, it should be pretty quick.
Okay, but like in the next 30 days?
We'll try.
Okay, all right. I would just say if they're having issues finding a tenant for the property location, then we just make sure they registered as vacant.
You'll follow up
Yeah,
on
I'll
that?
follow through with that.
Okay, thanks, Nick.
I'd like to make a motion that we waive the late fee for 7203 Ontario.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you, council.
You can pay at the end of today's meeting if you'd like, if you want to hang around.
Yeah, I will.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you very much. Okay. Okay, moving on to number 12, meeting's open to the public. Would anybody like to speak?
I wonder with all this rain, will it cause the ground to do any ignis fascius?
I hope not.
Good morning.
Sir, can you give us your name, please?
Martin Flores.
Martin Flores. Okay, Mr. Flores, go ahead.
I am the owner of 5235 State Line, the old Judy Music's place.
Okay?
I am actually here to ask for an extension on my demo rehab agreement. What had happened was I had done the agreement, I paid the $10,000 bond, and I had people actually come in here to Hammond to start asking for paperwork so we can get it going. But unfortunately, they never came back. So we had two contractors that came in, we need this much so we can get the paperwork going. So we gave them that much, and unfortunately, we're still empty-handed. But the good news is, now that we're working with Mr. Gerardo Soto, with Soto's Construction, and unfortunately, I don't have the paperwork with me because he has it and he wants to start moving forward, but I have to ask you guys if I can have permission to extend the rehab agreement.
Okay.
There's been no permits pulled. This is on public comment. I don't have my file. If you want to set this over for a week, we'll take a look, because there's been, this is out of the blue.
Okay.
So he's coming asking for an extension where for over a year, he's had the grace of this board and the city to do anything on the property, and nothing's been done.
Okay,
And there's also a concern about, there were like some ownership changes in the past, but I think that was before this gentleman had ownership. And, you know, we require a bond be posted, things like that. Was the bond posted? So, I mean, at this point, we can take his bond, but we don't want to do that if he really wants to fix it up, but we can't just be waiting around for a year with a property that's in a blighted state and nothing's been done on it. So I'd like to set a 1-week status, and I'm sorry, sir, I missed your name.
Martin Flores.
Mr. Flores, if he could please appear at that and ask to appear, and we'll have the file.
Of course.
Have more time to think about it, talk to the inspector about it. Whose district is this, Nick?
That's mine, Rich.
Rich, do you know much about the property?
I know the property had squatters in it for quite a while. It's been boarded up a few times, which I don't even know if the board up's been paid yet from.
Yes, I believe the board up has been paid.
Okay, so then if Mr. Castro, is the week give you enough time to kind of take a look and see what's up over there, Rich?
Yeah, I'll go by there again. I know I'd see cars parked up, like alongside the building at times and trash in the adjoining driveway, but,
I'd just like Mr. Castro
I mean,
to
this
give the
building's
board-
been in bad shape for a couple of years. That's
Yep.
why we put it on the
so
dump
was
list.
March 2nd enough? Is 1 week enough?
Is 1 week enough time for you? Okay, yeah.
Okay, so Mr. Flores, today's not the normal day for Board of Works, so
Yes.
it's next Thursday, March 2nd
Sounds good.
at 9 a.m. You'll be present?
Yes, is there any
If you
paperwork?
want well, yeah, I'd like to see your contract with Soto.
Okay,
That'd be helpful, or
No
have,
problem.
or if someone from Soto's firm appear with you, that'd be helpful, but that's up
right.
to you.
Okay, no
Right?
problem. We can have that happen.
Okay.
Thank you very much for your
Mr.
time.
Flores.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
I make a motion that we set a status for March 2nd, 2023 for 5235 Holman.
That was state line.
He said,
Line.
he said Holman.
5235 State Line.
Yeah, he did say, he said Holman, though.
You meant State Line.
Yeah,
Okay, should
yeah.
I rescind that?
Yes,
Okay, I'll rescind that motion and make a motion to set the status for March 2nd, 2023 for 5235 State Line.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. The meeting's still open to the public. Would anybody else like to speak? Chris, Bill, you guys all good? Okay.
Anybody else?
Okay, then I'll entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Make a motion to adjourn.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.